Hello, my dear ones. I've missed you. Today, I suggest we do some shooting. Let's create a bullet. Learn how to spawn it at the right time and place. Teach it to fly. We'll start with modeling. Add a sphere to the scene. Name it bullet. And give it a material with the same name. Choose the color red. Reduce its size to about 1/4 and apply the scale. Remove it from the scene so it doesn't interfere. Immediately disable its default spawning. We will be shooting in 8 directions depending on the keys pressed. And implementing this won't be easy. So, let's begin with the simplest task for today. Teaching the character to shoot in one direction. Like up or forward, along the positive y-axis. We could include all the shooting mechanics in the player input logical branch, but I believe it's necessary to create a separate branch for shooting, just for the sake of organization. Let's close the current one. Click on the new button. Name the new branch player shoot. And immediately link it to the character by selecting the cube. In the object properties, find the section called Armory Traits. Add a new slot and select the recently created branch named Player Shoot. Now, in the list of attached logical branches, the character has 2 branches, and over time, there will be more. Let's start with the control buttons. Since we will be shooting forward, it makes sense to use the up arrow key for this purpose. Grab the keyboard block and select the up arrow key. Now, let's think about how and where we will spawn the bullet when shooting. To save time, I'll suggest a ready and straightforward solution. We will create a dummy object, attach it to the character, and use it as the spawn point for bullets. When the bullet appears, it will inherit all the necessary transformations, namely, coordinates and rotation angles. Let's try it out. Select the cube, move the 3D cursor into it. You can do this by pressing Shift-S. In the menu that appears, choose Cursor to Selected or simply press the number 2 in the top row. Now, create a spherical dummy object. Move it slightly forward. And immediately rename it to Spawn Point F. Now we need to scale it down. Don't rush to scale it using the S key. It's better to go to the Empty Objects Properties window and change the size using the size parameter. Change the value to 0.2. This way, the empty object scale will remain at 1. This is important because bullets will inherit the scale. Now, let's parent the empty object to the cube because it should move along with it. Select the empty object, then with Shift held, select the cube, press Ctrl P, and choose Object. Now, when we move the cube, the empty object will move with it. Let's get back to the code. When a key is pressed, we should spawn a bullet in the empty object. To do this, grab the Spawn Object by Name block. Specify the scene and the name of the object you want to spawn, which is bullet. Now we need to set the empty object as the spawn point. Get the GetObjectTransform block, connect it to the transform channel, and choose the empty object. You can now play the game and shoot. Bullets will spawn where we want, but they spawn too frequently. We need to somehow reduce the firing rate. You can achieve this using the OnTimer block. For now, disconnect the keyboard block and connect the shooting action to the OnTimer block. Set the value to 0.3 and activate the repeat checkbox. Now, our bullets will spawn 3 times per second, and this process will repeat endlessly. This is better, but we need to combine these 2 blocks so that bullets spawn 3 times a second, only when we press the fire key. The logical branch block will help us with this. This block checks the input, a boolean, every time it receives a control signal. If we connect it to the timer, this check will occur 3 times per second. To the boolean input, we'll connect the state of the fire key from the keyboard block. Note that you should connect channels with pink markers. If the key is pressed, this channel will be true. If not pressed, it will be false. Let's look at the result again. If the key is not pressed, the check will receive false, and the true output will not trigger, so the bullets won't spawn. But if we hold down the key, the true output will trigger 3 times per second. And the bullets will appear on the screen with this interval. Now it's better. Let's make the bullets move forward. In this branch, we won't be able to control the bullet's flight. We need to create a new branch. Let's name it Bullet Move and attach it to the bullet object. To make the bullet fly, we only need 2 blocks on Update and Translate object. We will move the bullet along the local axis, and it will move forward along the y-axis in the positive direction. A speed of 2/10 should be suitable. Great. Now, let's think about optimizing our game. There will be many bullets, and all of them, once they go off screen, won't disappear. Bullets will continue their flight indefinitely, and the processor will keep calculating and processing the position of each bullet. I suggest simply deleting all bullets to 2-3 seconds after they appear. This should give them enough time to reach the edge of the scene and hide beyond it. Right in this same branch, let's add 3 blocks. On init, sleep, and remove object. When a bullet appears, a timer will start, and when it finishes, the object will be removed from the scene. Set the timer to half a second to see the result for yourself. Look, the bullets disappear exactly half a second after appearing. Now that we've confirmed the system is working, let's go back to the code and change the timer value to 3 seconds. Now the bullets will be removed somewhere outside the scene, and we won't see it happening. As always, let's keep things organized. These 2 blocks are responsible for transformations. So let's add a blue frame and label it Bullet Move. The second group of nodes controls the bullet's lifespan. We haven't chosen colors for these actions yet, so I'll leave them as the default gray for now. Add a label, Bullet Lifetime. And that's it for today. Time for a break. Goodbye for now.